Donald Trump talked tough on trade and China during the election, but now the Chinese government is striking back. So in a government-run newspaper, they said this: if Trump wrecks trade, a number of U.S. industries will be impaired. Finally, the new president will be condemned for his recklessness, ignorance, and incompetence. A batch of Boeing orders will be replaced by Airbus. U.S. auto and iPhone sales in China will suffer a setback, and U.S. soybean and maize imports will be halted. Oh, boy. So look, this is something that I mentioned a few times during the primary, and actually during the general, but I should have mentioned it more. Because here's the thing, Donald Trump, when he talks about trade, so when he says we shouldn't do TPP, he's 100% right on that, because TPP is a deal we haven't set up yet, and it's a deal we haven't implemented yet, so it's avoidable. We could just not do it. So he's right on that, and he's right that it would outsource jobs, and he's right that we should do more, manufacturing here and create more jobs here in the U.S. I agree with all that. Now, when it comes to, as he says, like renegotiate NAFTA and renegotiate these other things, I actually think he's right on that too. But, there's a big but. The question is, do you trust Donald Trump to be the guy to renegotiate those deals without sparking a trade war? And the answer to that, in my mind, is no, because I think he's kind of unhinged. I don't think he's that bright. I think he has the attention span of a gnat. And like all of his tough trade on talk, yeah, we'll slap a tariff on him and then that'll show him. Well, China responded with, oh, you're going to slap a tariff on us? That's nice. How about we slap a tariff on you? How about we don't export things to you that you need? How about we don't import things from you that you need to sell? So this is what a trade war is. It's, oh, okay, so, and they even say it in the article, the Chinese government says we're going to go tit for tat. So whatever you do, we'll do an equal and opposite thing that would hurt you. Oh, no. Now, look, again, I'm team renegotiate those old trade deals. I'm team don't do TPP. So I'm fairly protectionist, and I'm on the record as being protectionist. But since I'm not a clown, I understand that this requires you actually have to sit down at the table with these different governments that you already have the deals with, and you actually have to iron out new details. I would trade out of necessity, as opposed to trading out of just trying to get more corporate profits for a bunch of rich assholes and having a race to the bottom. Donald Trump, with his anti-trade rhetoric, and Donald Trump with how he says he would want to get us out of these deals, would unquestionably spark a trade war and would leave us worse off, not better off. So you'd have to work with the Chinese, you'd have to work with the Mexican government, you'd have to work with these different countries we have trade deals with and work out new terms. And the terms should, in my mind, benefit U.S. manufacturing more and should keep jobs here in the U.S. But you can't just fucking be a bomb thrower and say, yeah, I'm gonna slap a tariff on you, that's what I'm going to do, and then everything's going to be good, and that's the end of the conversation. Well, no, because then you get this reaction from China. China's like, oh, you want to play that game? They're pulling a Scarface. You want to play rough? Okay. That's what they're doing. So, while he's right on the overall framing and message of, come on, this free trade nonsense, this globalism nonsense is hurting us, he's right on that. But I don't trust him to handle the details of it to make it better. That's the downside. And the saddest part of it all is none of us should, I wouldn't have trusted Hillary to not go further down that road. I think she would have gone further down the road of globalization and more outsourcing. Obama, though I think he's done many good things in office, I don't trust him on this either. He keeps pushing for TPP. He's still doing it today. So you have like the Democratic Party in unison. The establishment Democrats are for it. Some progressive Democrats are against TPP. But the establishment Democrats are for it. The establishment Republicans are for it. And then you have some Republicans against it, but they were only against it when they consider it Obama trade. It'll be interesting to see if Trump decides, and he very well might, with TPP specifically, decide, let's tweak some provisions and then pass it. And then say it's not the TPP, it's a new deal, and it's a great deal, and it's good for American workers, and try to pass that. If he does that, I have a suspicion the other Republicans who are against Obama trade are going to fall in line and be in favor of this. So, but look, at the end of the day, if Trump was being correct in his rhetoric on the campaign trail about what he wants to do, that would spark a trade war. I don't trust him to handle the details of that. Now, if that was just campaign rhetoric, and it might have just been campaign rhetoric and he was just trying to get elected, then I think China is actually going to be very happy with Donald Trump, because he would probably even push us further in the direction of more outsourcing and less protectionism and more trade deals. So in my mind, when I analyze the situation, I see Trump doing one of the two things. Either the extreme of, trying to get us out of the trade deals and doing it the wrong way and sparking a trade war, that would be a disaster, or just being a standard politician and pushing us even further down the road of globalization and outsourcing, which would also be a disaster. The actual answer and how one should address these things, if I was president, there is no TPP. That's done. It's over. Totally done, totally over. We're not going to tweak some provisions and pass it under a different name. It's just gone. I'm scrapping it. So forget about it. That's gone. Any other bullshit trade deals you come up with that hurt the American people, scrapped. Not interested. Don't even knock on my door. Don't even talk to me about it. And I would sit down with our allies to talk about NAFTA, talk about the World Trade Organization, and get better deals for the American people, but I wouldn't do it in a way that would spark a trade war. So that's the happy middle ground here. But it appears like with Trump, we might be in either extreme, and that could be ugly.